Hi, I'm Lisa Wallen with Directional Learning, and we're excited to let you know that our reading and spelling program we just launched. We've just launched our first video. So remember, we're making the videos and then we're posting them to teach it to you. So on our first video is called Sorting Letters. So you're going to have all the wooden letters and the student is going to sort them into the directional columns and link the sound to the letters. And our letters have characters. So remember, linking the sounds to the letters is super important for reading. So that's our first step. And your students should have watched our videos on direction because we talk about tons of direction on our videos. So now that you know that our program is free, you can go and watch the videos and have your student watch the video and you can watch it with them. Then you can go to the teacher and parent section and you can follow up on how to teach sorting the letters to the student to work with them. So now we ask you to go to our YouTube channel and please like our videos and subscribe. And make sure that you pass the word that our program is free. We designed our program to be free because we want every student to have an appropriate education and we believe every student can learn. So we want every student to learn. So we ask if you teach the program, Directional Learning's reading program, make sure that you teach it freely. We made it so that a student wouldn't be charged to learn to read. And if you do use our program, make sure that you put us on your social media and let everybody know how Directional Learning is working for you. So we appreciate you watching Directional Learning, and guess what? We can't wait to teach you more. Hi, I'm Lisa Wallen with Directional Learning, and today I'm going to show you how to sort the letters into these directional columns. Your student can watch our video on our YouTube video, the only channel for directional learning for dyslexia. So your student can watch that video and then they're ready to do this. Do you see my wooden letters? Now, for this segment, all you will need is a whiteboard. You can do some markers to make your columns. And remember, they should have watched our video on direction, so this should look really familiar to them. And you'll need some wooden letters. And when you get the wooden letters, don't get anything too fancy or scrolly. Just get traditional wooden letters like I have here. Do you see it? And you do all one color too. And when you make your columns, you can use any color you want, but just do one column, be consistent. Okay, so when you first work with them, the very first time, you're going to have them have the letters upright, just like that. And you're going to go in alphabetical order sequence. The second time you work with them, you want them mixed up. You want them in different orientations because they have to find the letter. It makes it 3D, they have to figure out what the letter is. So that's super important. And this is going to help them link the letters to the sounds in a quick way so we can start teaching them how to write the letters and for reading. This is super important. This is the hardest thing to teach a person that has dyslexia, is linking the letters to the sounds. So this is something that we've mastered and we can teach the student pretty quick with these directional columns. Okay, so the first time you want to teach them is you want to show them a few letters. So I will show them a few letters, but before we start, I'll tell them, okay, these columns should look familiar. This is the left, the middle, and this is the right. So they know that already. They've watched the video, and they should have watched our video on sorting letters. We have videos out there for each age that's appropriate for the student. So have them watch that because they've learned who the characters are. They've seen pictures. So now you're getting them and you're just using the letters themselves for them. But you're going to be talking about the characters. Okay, you're not using the pictures, but you're going to be talking about the characters as we go. So you're going to say, okay, look at this letter here. You're just going to kind of do a review with them. So let's look at this letter here. Our letters have direction, and remember, they live in these directional columns, and we're going to link sounds to the letters. Do you see this letter here? This I call my digging dog with his tongue stuck out. So how I determine where to put him in the directional column is I look at his bump. Do you see this bump? Which way is the bump pointing? Is it pointing towards the capital L building, or is it pointing towards the red reptile tree or the right? There's no bump pointing this way, so it lives this way. And that's my digging dog with his tongue stuck out. Now notice he's sticking his tongue out like the one lefty dragon. So any of your characters or animals will be sticking their tongue out and they live over here. Okay, that's my digging dog, duh, duh, duh. Next letter you can show them is let's show them the climbing cat. I call this the climbing cat with its tongue sticking out. Do you see the bump? This side has an opening, so it's not pointing this way, but the bump is pointing this way. So it lives there. Let's try another one. This one, let's do this one. This is our queen. The queen has her tongue sticking out. Look at her bump. Is her bump pointing this way or this way? It's pointing towards the left. So she lives this way. So you put her there. And then I'll show you one more. Let's do the apple on the stick. This is the apple on a stick. It doesn't have a tongue, but you can imagine yourself sticking your tongue out. Or you can just look at the bump to figure out where it lives. Which way is the bump pointing? Towards the left. So it lives there. Now, do you see what we're doing? We're just putting the letters in the columns depending on which way the bumps are pointing. And the characters have tongues. Like this is the queen that has a tongue. This is a cat that has a tongue sticking out. A dog. And then notice that the apple doesn't have a tongue, but the bump is pointing towards the left. So it lives there. Now, I want you to look at the digging dog. Do you notice the digging dog has the cat in it? And it has the apple. So this is one of those tricky letters to find out if it's this letter. So how they can look at it is look for the apple. If it has the apple in it, the apple lives this way, so it lives this way. Okay. So now, we'll keep this letter here. So now I'll show you letters that have road letters. We call these road letters here. These would be called tongue letters. So this would be called a road letter because do you see this bump? Which way is this bump pointing? It's pointing towards the red reptile tree. And remember, there was a road on the 3 in the this letter here, the red reptile tree. So they have to imagine a road. And if they follow the road, it lives there. And when you say this sound, this is my bouncy bed. When you say this sound, your lips come together. Buh. But imagine you're on a bouncy bed and you say bouncy, your lips come together. Buh. And they already have a visual picture of this. So that would live there. Let's show you another letter, another road letter that would live there. Let's see if I can find one here. Let's do this letter here, our red reptile tree. Do you see our red reptile tree? Well, it has a road. And remember, there was a little red reptile tree up here, so it lives there. Do you see that? Okay, let's look at the king. Okay, do you see this letter here? This is the king's crown and its leg, and the crown and the leg point this way. And if they remember, it has a road, so you follow the road. So that would be a road letter. And then another road letter would be this letter here. Do you see that letter there? So this is our P. This is our pink palace. Look at the bump. Is the bump pointing towards the left? It isn't, but it's pointing towards the right. So it would live in the right. And when you say this letter, P, your lips come together. Right? Now, if the student isn't seeing that, you can make the sound and show them that your lip comes together. And then if that doesn't work, you can put them in front of a mirror so they can see that their lips look like that when they say the sound. And these are tricky letters, so they live there because of the lip. Okay, and then so you learn that these all have road letters. Oh, and the road, you see this bouncy bed here, it points towards the red reptile tree, right? So it has a red reptile tree letter in there. So does this letter. Okay, and there'll be some other letters that do have that. And then you learn that here, the digging dog has the apple and the queen has the apple. Okay, so do you see that commonality? Now I want to show you middle letters that would live in the middle. Well, that's easy. So this letter here doesn't have a bump, right? No bump pointing this way, no bump pointing this way. So it gets to live in the middle, gets to dance in the middle. And then another middle letter would be this letter here because it does have a bump. Do you see the bump on this letter? The bump points towards this way and towards the red reptile tree. So towards the capital L building and the red reptile tree. So where do we put it? We just put it in the middle. It gets to dance in the middle. Okay. And then maybe a letter that's all over the place, like my Sharpie scissors. This letter here, it's kind of all over the place, right? There's no bumps on it. So because it lives all over the place, the lines, it gets to live in the middle. So any letter that just lives, that has straight lines that go all over the place, it gets to live in the middle. Okay, and there's quite a few letters like that. So you just learned that we have tongue letters, we have letters that live in the middle, and you have letters that point towards the red reptile tree that have a road. So that's how we play the game. Okay, and then next, what we're going to do is we're just going to give sound to the letters. And usually the first time I do it in alphabetical order, the letters are upright, but we're just going to play where they're mixed up today. And I'm going to do it in alphabetical order to show you how it would look. So I might call out the sound ah. Student has to look down here, find it, and remember it's the apple on the stick, it lives here. Or they have them look at the bump to determine where it lives there. Ah. Our next letter is B. Look at the bump. Which way is it pointing? Towards the red reptile tree, and it has a red reptile tree in it, so it lives here. So follow the bump. B. And it's one of those lips letter. So they can remember that sound. Next one is K, K, K. That's my climbing cat. Find the bump. Where does it live? Has a tongue sticking out. It lives there. K. My next letter is D. That's my digging dog. Has the apple in it. You can remind them. And it has a tongue sticking out. Digging dog lives over there. Duh. The next one is Eh. That's my big elephant. And how I remember this is the elephant's trunk. It hits the building. Then he goes after the cat. It does his baby sound. Eh, eh, eh. That's another thing. We're only using our baby sounds. We're not using the letter name E, the baby sound. Eh. And we're not calling any of them by their letter names. So it has a tongue. So it lives over here. Eh. Next one is F, F, F. It's my favorite candy cane. You can kind of see that. It's a candy cane, and the candy cane kind of is a hook that points over towards the red reptile tree. So if it's a candy cane, this is the ribbon too, so you can see that. If it's a candy cane, it has a hook, you can hang it on the tree so it lives there. And I'll do one more, and then you'll have to watch the longer video to see how to finish playing the game. So this one is our goat, and this is his tongue sticking out. You see he has a jolly smile too, but this is his goat sound, ga, ga, ga. So just follow his tongue. He lives there, ga. So you can kind of see that we've done a few letters for you so you can kind of see how to play the game. It's pretty easy once our letters have direction and they have sounds to them. You'll see that once they start playing this game, they'll become super fast at it, and they'll be linking these letters and sounds and direction to the letters very quickly. And these directional columns we're going to use for our handwriting program as well. So it'll become very familiar with them so that reading can be super fast for them. Okay, so make sure you watch all our videos on YouTube. That's where we're teaching you how to teach your student how to read, and the students can watch the videos, and then we have a part for teachers and parents so that you can follow up and practice with them. Okay, thank you for watching Directional Learning, and we can't wait to teach you more.